Do you want to get good at a new hero and stop being stuck on the exact same pick day in and day out? Do you feel lost on how to actually improve on your hero? Well, I've learned multiple heroes up to around a Masters 3 Masters area, and I'm still trying to learn more and improve. And so I want to give what I believe is the recipe to improve faster from my personal experience. My name is PyroSquid. Let's level up your hero pool. Let's make you as good as can be, as quick as can be. And also, subscribe if you want more like this. I would really like to hit 2,000 subscribers, so make that happen. Much love. Let's get on with the video. Okay, the process. How do we actually do this? First step is always just pick a hero. Just pick one hero. You're then also going to get a bit of a grip and a feel for them by just playing a few hours. Maybe that's 5 to 10 hours. Depending on how difficult a character is, you might need that 10 hours, but if they're quite easy, you might need like 2, 3. But just play a few hours. Don't try hard yet and try to super improve yet. Just get a feel, get an understanding of how the character plays and what works and what feels right. Step 2, self-reflection. We're going to sit down and we're going to ask, what do I need to do on this hero? What does this hero need to do, and what can I practice? And you're going to write it down. You're going to write these things down, whether, digitally, notepad, or maybe you actually want pen and paper. And you're going to write down and identify what you actually need to learn with this character. Step 3 is to study properly. Now, it sounds, I'm making it academic by saying study. I'm taking all the fun out of it, but it's just the easier way to explain, okay? You're going to watch guide content, possibly. If it's a generic guide, like those general 10-minute videos where they try to explain a character in 10 minutes and it doesn't really try focus on a lot of the macro decision-making that they might come up with. I watched like some 10-minute video on Lucio, and there were small things here on like a macro section. I was like, okay, I can take that. But a lot of ability overviews and a lot of like small mechanical stuff isn't necessarily as important as the wider decision-making that you need to know. You can also watch coaching content. This could be a Spyler video, much more strong to watch this type of thing. And you can even watch the videos of him coaching others to learn and pick up on things and habits that you might want to do. You might even want to watch pro gameplay, professional players, not just the whole match. I wouldn't watch a whole match. I'd watch a game from a professional, high-ranked player. And my tips for this is try to predict what they're going to do. Try coach them in your mind. Obviously you can't actually coach them, but like pretend as if you are coaching them, and try to understand why something is good or why something is actually bad. Like, try to understand, because the thing is, watching pro players is actually really good for learning stuff, but it can be really difficult when you lack a foundational understanding, because pro players, especially on their ranked games, are going to make a ton of mistakes and kind of be goofing about, and it's going to be really hard if you don't understand what is good and what is bad to figure out what to grab from that. So that's why you've got to think really critically with it and really dissect there and think hard, right? Again, very important. Seriously, take notes on all of these things. I mean, just small little bullet points like use damp when queen went in, stuff like that. Like just things like that. Just and then you try to understand, like, okay, well that's how that works, and you can put them into much smaller bullet points. Okay, now we're moving on to how do you actually apply this learning. So we've learned, this is like we've been to school and the teachers explained the thing and we've taken notes on the thing, but we haven't actually learned it yet. So we have to apply our learning and our understanding in focused practice sessions. 1 to 2 hour blocks are fine, possibly 3. I think 4 can reach burnout point, but 1 to 2, possibly 3 with breaks of just you playing, right? And each session has only one focus. You're going to focus on one specific example, off angles, cover usage, trigger discipline, anything like that you might be focusing on for that session. And those are usually things that you have taken from your notes that you've made. The next session, which could be, the next day, or you might do a morning session and an afternoon session if you're really like got the time for that somehow. You do a new focus. And you just rinse and repeat. You just keep doing that. You literally keep doing that, and you keep finding new things to learn, apply them, cycle them in and out for weeks. Now, something that's also very important, I would say this is sort of bonus. I would almost call this going above and beyond, like sort of going further. Like, I say it's very important, will greatly accelerate your learning, but you don't necessarily need it entirely. But I say weekly VOD reviews near the end of the week, obviously, or maybe right at the start, and keep them short, max 10 minutes. I mean 20 minutes, max 20 minutes. You're aiming for that 10 to 20 minute range. You're not trying to dissect every single thing that you did at multiple games. You're looking at one close game and you're kind of skimming it to see the things that you did right or wrong. And I want to emphasize this. This is something people get lost in when VOD reviewing. The problem is people try VOD review by looking for everything. The point of a VOD review is actually to be focused on looking for one individual thing. Specifically, the thing you were practicing. So if in this VOD I was practicing cover usage, I don't care if my off angle is kind of shit. I'm going to look and be like, I'm on cover and I'm using cover well. Well done. Or I look at the next fight and go, my cover usage here is quite poor. And if overall my cover usage was not very effective and not very good throughout that whole VOD where I was focusing on it, guess what? It's a priority. I need to go back and I need to go practice cover usage again. You've got to be specific. Don't ego VOD review. Don't try look for everything. Don't try to analyze everything. Be a massive coach to yourself. You just want to look at the thing that you were trying to work on and see if it's there. And the thing is, if you're only looking for that one thing over and over again, you can't VOD review badly. You don't need to be that skilled to do it. You just need to know that, hey, that didn't work that time. Okay? And you've got to think critically and drop any ego about your own gameplay. So let me use my own example because I'm going to be learning Lucio for a little bit, and I've been currently playing him. I've already played about 10 hours of ranked of Lucio this season just to get the good feel for him. And I'm about to start doing some more structured little practice sessions, right? So what I did was I watched some Funny Astro gameplay. I watched some Funny Astro gameplay, took some notes of that. Watching Spider coaching, again, took some notes of that. And also your notes will evolve as I'll watch more, as I'll understand Lucio more. I might actually adjust things and change things around, right? But here are the current notes that I actually came up with. So these were Lucio-specific things. Who do I need to support right now? Amp discipline, speed to engage / heal otherwise, beating from cover, focus, practice movement, just movement in general, and a boop melee combo. And then I had general skills, which was cover usage, responding to pressure, and effective range. Again, you keep adding stuff to this list, but that was the general first note. These are the things I want to work on. Like, there's a lot of stuff that you will, over time, realize you're actually quite good at naturally, and you will have to practice less for new heroes. I like to think in questions. This is another little point. This is a little sidebar. I like to think in questions when I'm in-game learning my thing. So, for example, right here, I would be like, who should I be with right now? Do I need to amp? Which aura should I be on? Am I on cover? Am I pushing or pulling? What is my job right now? Questions make you aware. They make you more conscious of decision making. It's not just be on cover. It's am I on cover? Where is cover? It's that sort of thing. You're asking yourselves these questions so that you have to answer them in gameplay. You know what I mean? It's not just cover. You're not giving yourself actually something to do. You're just thinking about cover. You've got to give yourself actionable things in a moment. And it's hard and it's tough. It's intense. It's annoying. But it does create a ton of improvement. My general tips. At the end of this all. You will dip before you spike. Without a doubt. You will go down before you hit a huge climb. It's just going to happen. That's just how it goes. Wizard Young has got a video on that whole thing. I might actually link, if I remember to, about how a lot of the students would have huge loss streaks before they ever reach their peak. It works out that way. The reason is actually, let me summarize this. It's because you're correcting old habits that kept you there, and so you're bad at the new thing, so you derank. But now that you've got the new thing, which is meant to be really good, in your system, you will basically smurf your way back up to your rank. That's sort of how it works. It's like if you play guitar, this is me personally, this is me for like 2 years, and you only down pick, and then you learn to alternate pick, and you suck. Every song sucks. You just can't play for like a week or two, and then you learn how to alternate pick, and then suddenly you're the best you've ever been. You're just so much quicker and so much better. That's how it felt for me. I don't know if that analogy works for everyone. You usually won't gain rank while practicing. If you do rank up, it's likely luck or the first time you've ever played with intent, and so you were more focused. Also, rank is a long-term stat. Self-improvement is the real result that you're trying to look for, and it can be harder to notice. Your rank does not indicate your self-worth. Rank is just basically what was your win rate over a course of an entire season or seasons, few months. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a long process of things that change. Rank will fluctuate and your skill will compound. Also, you can learn two heroes at once. For example, I kind of do a bit of a break with Lucio. I interchange them fairly well, but more focus equals faster results. So like if you played 4 hours of Lucio, you'd get the best results out of it than if I was to play 2 hours break, 2 hours Lucio, that type of thing, right? But also there's diminishing returns. Don't do 6 hour sessions. There is a cutoff. I'd honestly say 3 depending on how experienced you are, 4, because once you go past that, you are not learning and you just get your diminishing returns. And my final point, have fun sessions as well. This is so important. This will either you can kill your love of the game if you don't make time to just have fun. Not every session has to be practice mode. You could have it so that on the Monday you practice something, but then on Tuesday you just play the game. And then Wednesday you go back to practice, Thursday back to practice, Friday you chill with your friends and you duo and you trio, you 5-stack, and you just have a good time. And then you practice again on the Saturday. And that's fine. And that is absolutely a fine routine to keep up. Well, I hope you learned something. I hope you're all going to skyrocket the ranks to improvement. And I'm just going to say it. The ones that are going to improve, the ones that are going to watch this video and take action and do something, right? That's for you. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. I like to yap about Overwatch quite a lot. I talk about systems, hero design, yeah. Sometimes do guide content like this, personal insight, blah, 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 blah. Try to tell the servers, the yap. Love you all. Take care.